Good morning everybody, welcome to another book picker video. Today I'm going to continue the Harry Potter series and I'm going to talk about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is the third book in the Harry Potter series and I'm really excited to talk about this because it's one of my favorite books in the whole series. So let's get started. Once again, Harry is back at his aunt's house for the summer vacation. He is doing his summer vacation assignments in secret in fear of getting punishment by his aunt. But his birthday passes and he gets some gifts from all of his friends, but most notably a book from his friend Hagrid. Hagrid is the groundskeeper of the magical school that Harry goes to, Hogwarts. He is a half giant, his father is a normal person, but his mother is a giantess. So he does not have the same view of what is dangerous to normal people. So he gave Harry a monstrous book called The Monster Book of Monsters, which bites and attacks back. The only way to stop it is by scratching its back like this. But Harry did not know this information, so he actually got into a fight with the book and got some injuries. But he was able to tie it with a belt and keep it under his bed. The next day, while they were having breakfast, the news were on, and Harry found out that there is a criminal called Sirius Black on the loose. We later find out that this is important information. Meanwhile, Harry gets a letter from the school telling him that third years such as himself can go to a nearby village called Hogsmeade. Harry has heard of this before from his friend and really wants to go. But he will need to get a permission slip from his guardians first. At the same time, Harry's uncle tells him that his sister will be coming over and staying for a week. So they make a deal. The deal is that Harry should behave during the week that his uncle's sister will stay and that Harry's uncle will sign the permission slip if he does so. So his uncle's sister does come, and for the first 6 days everything seems to be going fine. Then on the 7th day, she insults him again and again and again, and also insults his parents, which makes Harry really mad. He does some accidental magic and she blows up like a balloon, literally. Then Harry runs away from the house. After Harry runs away from the house, he rides a magical bus called the Night Bus. He learns that it is very fast and that only magical people can see it. The conductor tells him that the criminal he has heard about, called Sirius Black, was one of the followers of the evil magician that tried to kill Harry when he was a baby. But immediately the bus reaches its destination and Harry goes to a hotel. He spends most of the rest of the summer vacation there, but then Harry's friends visit him. The hotel is located in a street full of magical shops, so Harry and his friends go for shopping. First, they stop at a store full of magical brooms, where Harry sees a new broom that he really likes. He finds out that it is a bit expensive, but he has enough money for it, but he thinks that it's unreasonable to buy it. Then they go to a magical pet shop, where Harry's friend, Hermione Granger, buys a cat. But on the other hand, his other friend, Ron Weasley, has a rat. And we all know that cats and rats do hate each other, so during the whole book, the cat keeps chasing the rat. Next day, they took the train to Hogwarts. Everything was fine during the trip until the end. When they almost reached the school, everything suddenly went dark and cold, and the train suddenly stopped. Everyone was nervous and looking around, wondering what was happening. Then a strange creature entered the compartment that Harry was sitting in. It is called a Dementor. This is what a Dementor looks like. They are the guardians of Azkaban, the magical prison. They suck all happiness out of a person and make them depressed. So when it entered, it made everyone scared. But it had a strong effect on Harry by making him faint. But before he fainted, Harry was lucky because he was in the same compartment as the teacher of the Defense Against the Dark Arts, who protected Harry from the Dementor. After they arrived at the school, they got an announcement that Harry's friend Hagrid, who we mentioned earlier, became the new teacher of the subject Care for Magical Creatures. After that, Harry went to his first lesson of his new subject, Divination, which means seeing the future. So they started with reading tea leaves. While they were reading the tea leaves, the teacher came to Harry and read his leaves and told him that she saw the Grim. She explained that this meant that Harry would soon die. Then Harry has his first lesson of Defense Against the Dark Arts. They find out that the teacher is very clever and experienced. The first thing he teaches them is about a boggart. A boggart is a shapeshifter that turns into a witch or wizard's biggest fear. So, for example, Harry's best friend Ron Weasley is biggest fear is spiders, so it turned into a really giant spider. Another person was afraid from clowns, so it turned into a clown also. But interestingly, when the boggart was about to come to Harry, the teacher pushed him away, so it turned into a moon for him. We will get an explanation to this later. The most popular magical sport in the world is called Quidditch. Harry also likes this as he is on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. The reason I'm talking about this is because it's important because it goes through many chapters of the book. So let me explain it to you. In it, there are two teams that fight off against each other, each team consisting of 7 players. It is like soccer where there are some people who score goals and one person who protects the goals. But there are some unique positions, such as Harry's position, the Seeker. The Seeker has to look around the ground for the Golden Snitch, a tiny ball that flies around. When he catches the Golden Snitch, the game ends and the winner's team gets 150 extra points. During Harry's first match, it was Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff. Everything was going fine during the match, and Harry even saw the snitch. He was speeding to it, but before he caught it, something happened. The Dementors entered the ground. So Harry felt himself fainting and was falling off his broom to the ground. But luckily for him, Professor Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts, is a really powerful wizard. He stopped him from falling to his death and kicked the Dementors away. After that, when he was in the hospital bed, Harry's friends came to him and told him that they lost the match, and that also Harry's broom flew to the Whomping Willow and it got smashed to pieces. After Harry got out of the hospital, he went to visit the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and the teacher promised him that he would help him learn how to protect himself against Dementors. Another week passes and it was a Hogsmeade journey. Harry was sad because everyone could go and he could not, because as we remember, he ran away from the house before he could get his uncle's sign. So while he was going to his dormitory, he found Fred and George Weasley. They are his best friend's brothers. They gave him a magical map called the Marauders Map. This was a map of the whole school, which showed him where everyone was and all of the school's secret passages and its layout. Harry used it to go through a secret passage to Hogsmeade, where he overheard some teachers saying that it was Black who betrayed Harry's parents, which caused them to die. Now it is Christmas and Harry receives a lot of gifts, the most important being a new broom. It is called the Firebolt, and it was the broom that Harry wanted back when he was shopping with his friends. When he got it, there was no card saying who it was from, and his friend told him that he should give it to a teacher to see if it was cursed. Harry refuses, so his friend takes it herself and gives it to a teacher, and the teacher checks it. Harry does get it back after 2 chapters and finds out that it's not cursed. After that, Harry goes to the teacher of Defense Against the Dark Arts and gets his first anti-dementor lesson. In it, he learns that he has to do a magical spell called the Patronus, in which he has to think of a really happy memory and then say an incantation, which will make a silvery animal pop out of his wand and scare away the Dementors. This is the only way to stop a Dementor. Harry's Patronus is also a stag. This Patronus is also unique to every wizard. No 2 wizards have the same Patronus. We start off this chapter with Gryffindor playing against Ravenclaw, a Quidditch match. The match goes on for some time, but then Harry catches the snitch and Gryffindor wins. Later they play another match in which they win, which means that they won the final for the first time and they won the cup. In the end of the chapter, we find out that Sirius Black has broken into the Gryffindor common room for the second time, and he has succeeded this time. Through a fortunate series of events, he breaks in, but when he does not find Harry inside, he runs away to not get captured. After this, many things happen to Harry, during which he discovers more about how to protect himself from Dementors, who killed his parents, who betrayed them, and most importantly, he learns more about his family. But I left the rest for you to discover through reading the book yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video and the book. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I will see you in another book picker video.